Okay, guys, today we are going to hopefully tackle the color issues on this Outrun monitor. If you watched the first Outrun video that I posted, I picked this up for a pretty good deal. The monitor on it was working, but it's very dim. It looks blurry, but it's kind of hard to tell with how dim it is. But also, sorry for the whining puppy over there in the corner. Hopefully he's cute enough that you will excuse that. Hopefully he does not figure out how to get through that cat door. So as you can see, I pulled the monitor out already. What I did not realize on Outrun is that there's actually two bezels in there. There's one that's a plexiglass, and that's the inner bezel that's smoked. And then there's a clear regular glass. And then, of course, there's the decorative plastic that doesn't actually cover the screen. So that's all that. I didn't record that too much because, I mean, it's basic, you know. There's a little bracket at the top that just unscrews, two screws, and then everything else just slides out. It's just held in by gravity. So no big deal there. Okay, so here's our monitor here. First thing I'm going to point out here is that over here on the left, that's not burn or anything. That's actually just dust. I think this monitor is so dirty. So definitely gonna do the cap kit. I don't think the dust is the entirety of the problem, but I bet that dust is at least some of the color issue that we're having. So I'm gonna go grab some glass cleaner and just clean this off before we even start. And then from there, we can get down to doing a cap kit. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's going to affect how this looks. Look at that. I don't know how much you can see on the camera, how different the screen itself looks, but I mean, wow. All right, so let's get this chassis pulled off, and then we can take it elsewhere to work on it. Yeah, this looks brand new. It's about the only thing on this that looks brand new. So we've got a couple connectors in here that need to be removed. One over here. So let's start with that. And I'm like, I don't know if you can see, I'm like flexing the board. Oh, here we go. It's coming. There we go. Tight fit. Probably for the best. Neck board off, nice and gently. Some kind of adhesive stuck to the neck board there. I think the seller, when I bought this machine, told me it had recently been capped, but I don't think this monitor has ever been out of the machine. I mean, this looks brand new. We had that adhesive there, and The power cord was zip tied into the machine. Not to say that someone couldn't replace that, but you know, who knows? And just the overall dirtiness of this. Okay, now we have, these are two separate boards here. And I'm just kind of going over and seeing what I got to do. See a couple screws in the middle of each board here. And a couple screws on the edges. All right, I moved up to my little workstation up here, and the PCB is much cleaner now. Although I have a lot of this, see all this white on the PCB? That showed up after it fully dried out. I think that's just like hard water deposits. I don't think anything was damaged. I am new to all this, but I literally, you know, I could not find anything about, you know, cleaning it with water damaging the board, unless this is one of those internet-wide pranks to play on newbies. I sure hope not. But I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to wash off this residue as I go. I was worried that this was like a leaking cap, but I've seen caps leak before, and it's not white like that. You see how it's kind of centered around this one cap, but then, you know, it's kind of just all over the board as well. It's by these guys, and so certainly not only at that cap. Anyway, as you see, I did get that base off. I kind of just pulled out. I didn't even have to remove all the screws that I did, such as, for example, these ones didn't have to come out, I don't believe. But now that I have that metal base off of it, I do have access to everything I need underneath, so I can start recapping this, and then hopefully everything will go smooth. So let me get set up for that. I actually have to locate the caps that I bought for this, and like I said, I'll just clean off that residue as I go. It just wipes off with my finger, so you know, it's not like a burn mark or anything. So I think we're okay on that. All right, let me get set up, and we'll get these caps replaced. Okay, I'm gonna start with the neck board. It only has 2 capacitors on it. This guy right here, and where's the other one? Right here. See that? Okay. So we'll just knock those 2 out to begin with, and then move on from there. These other 2 boards both have many capacitors, so they'll take a lot longer, but at least this one will be out of the way. Okay, you can see the new ones are slightly smaller. Not always. I think both of these are slightly smaller. And the board has a plus mark on one side. Plus right there, C51 plus. And so that band on the capacitor is the negative side. The plus side also has a longer leg. Same deal here. Match up the positive side. Okay, you see I like to bend the legs over when I do stuff like this so I can solder, and then we'll just snip the end, but at least this, holds it in for you. While you have it upside down. Just double checking the polarity to be extra careful. Looks good to me. Okay, the neck board is done. Now that'll be a little bit easier to keep out of our way. Before I go on, I'm actually going to print out the list of caps so that I can check them off as we go. Okay, so for those of you counting at home, that was 27 capacitors replaced across 3 boards. After that was done, I put everything back together. I replaced all the screws. I replaced all the signal wires, the yoke wires, all that stuff. And when I turned the monitor on, I didn't get much of anything. I actually thought I got nothing. But upon closer inspection, I could see that there was a slight image there. And when I turned the lights off and did some adjustments, I could start to see the makings of a picture. Now, aside from the lack of brightness, which was worse now than when I started, the bigger issue was that the picture was not filling the full screen. I figured that maybe the vertical IC chip on the board had gone bad, and so I found a replacement for that on eBay. Okay guys, so I replaced the vertical IC, and this is what I have now. Obviously, it's way out of whack. I think I probably adjusted it out of whack before I replaced that chip. So I'm going to try to make some adjustments and see if I can get, a proper looking picture on here. Notice it is bright enough now to actually see it with the lights on, so that's progress. Let me go ahead and try to adjust this and see if we can improve the picture a bit. Alright guys, so here we go. I spent about 20 minutes adjusting it out, and here's what we got now. I think the picture is looking nice and sharp, bright. This is a huge step above where it was when it came to me. You couldn't even see this with the lights on, so we got the lights on here in the basement directly above this, and as you can see, it looks fine. Let me switch off and we'll see how it looks like in the dark. And here we are in the dark again, like nice and bright, got all our colors, and yeah, this monitor is done. So from here, I think the next project will be rebuilding the control panel. I want to put new gears in there. The ones that are in there are together, but one of them is showing signs of cracking, so I may as well just replace them all, just freshen that whole thing up. And I do have a replacement control panel that's not cracked on the edge. I'll have to find a new shift plate. I think I have a lead on that. So I'm going to go gather some parts. Might take me a week or two to get everything together, and then I'll start working on that. So I don't know, it might be like a month or so before the next video on this machine, but it'll be coming. So if you're interested, feel free to subscribe, share this with friends who are into arcade stuff, and yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.